Ladies and gentlemen, we would now like to present to you and formally introduce Bob, Cos, and Arthur, the Play No Games podcast.
It's your favorite podcast. When we talk about real life and exchange a few laughs, we sticking to our path. When you find understanding, just know that will never last. We ain't here to play no games. The world is getting
What's
crazy,
poppin',
and now
guys?
we know
It's
we gotta
Cartier
be the change.
Bob, back with some games.
It's type forward.
It's Goss.
And once again, Portland's most dangerous, well-kept secret, soon to be uncovered podcast / show.
Yeah.
We're on the rise.
Wow, that was wow. I was really waiting for y'all to pour on the more sauce, the more oil.
I mean, less is more sometimes, especially when it comes to cooking.
Okay. All right. Well, if you like what we're doing and you want to see us grow, donate to $ Hero Bob right up top there. You know, once again, I'm saying it because I'm manifesting it. I at least want to cut my guys a check this year for something. And if you want to be a part of that, donate.
Even if it's just a pizza party at the end of the year.
I'll take a pizza party.
Bro, why is that like the universal HR, like, resounding? Like, let's get the momentum going.
Because everyone loves pizza.
True.
Okay.
I mean, we did pizza last time with Andrew, who's like gluten-free, vegan, everything.
Bro, he don't eat nothing.
I ain't gonna lie. Since
Just nuts.
wow, that's crazy. Since I gave up eating pork, pizza does not hit the same for me at all.
Really?
Even if you have like ham. Wait, never mind. Sorry.
Wow.
Let's say beef on it.
You're a ham.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. Even if you have like beef on it or chicken.
A lot of places, like, if I'm making it myself, great. It's just like the selection sometimes when I'm experimenting somewhere, and then I try the end product of a chicken pizza or beef pizza, and it's just like, wow, you did not season this at all. Or
Yeah. I guess I didn't realize, like pork is the main meat for pizza. I didn't even think about that.
Shout out to Rudy's Pizza. I feel like they do a really good seasoned chicken because I put grilled chicken on mine, and it's not like the one with the black lines and bullshit.
Yeah.
Like it's actually like
the fake lines.
yeah,
the fake lines is just hard pressing. Yeah,
yes,
throw it in the microwave.
exactly.
yeah, bro.
It is pretty solid.
Where I'm gonna check them out.
I'm a Pizza Shoals guy.
Mm.
That's what I like.
Sometimes they.
I like. No, that's my place. The New Haven style.
You know,
But enough about food. Get back to the regular scheduled programming. What do y'all play no games about?
Right into it. I love it. I'll go first. Breaking news as of today. The Timbers' main sponsor, the Bella, is no longer affiliated with the Timbers.
I did see that earlier.
Because, and let me just make sure I get the wording here right. I don't want to mess this up. Pulling up the report. Portland Timbers dropped the Bella sponsorship after CEO of that company has been accused of sexual harassment.
damn.
If anyone wondering, the Bella is actually like a construction company out of Tualatin area. So they try to go a little more local with their next sponsor. They were with like Alaska Airlines for 10 plus years. Fire sponsor, by the way, on the kit. It looks really good. I did not like the Bella sponsor. I thought it looked really bad. So I am happy that they're going to have a different sponsor.
Is there a reason in particular why they stopped that partnership with Alaska?
No, it happened before that incident. It happened before the emergency door exit.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't.
It makes them look better in that regard.
Yeah.
I find it interesting because the Timbers have had a history of sexual harassment situations with the owner covering up for a player. And that coming to light several months after the incident. So like fans of the Timbers don't like the owner because of that situation. And it's interesting that they essentially dropped the sponsor 25 minutes after the like story broke. But yeah.
What would you think about Dutch Brothers becoming a sponsor?
No, that'd be fire. So, because Dutch Bros is on the training top.
Okay.
So they're on the training kit. I think that would be fire. People have been throwing out Tillamook because Tillamook is all over the stadium.
Wow.
I think Tillamook would look really good, actually.
That would look fire.
People have thrown Modelo because that's also like one of the stadium sponsors. Modelo would look fire.
That'd be tough.
I think there's a lot of better sponsors they could do than.
Yeah. And I'm just thinking something that's like more synonymous with.
Maybe even like
Portland.
a Providence. It's Providence Park. The
I can
Thorns.
see that,
The
yeah.
Thorns are Providence sponsored. I think it looks good, but yeah, funny enough, in the world of like soccer, a sponsor makes a difference on a kit. If you have a Kaka sponsor, like Manchester United is with oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the name.
Jamming up.
Yeah, I'm jamming up right now. It's a terrible sponsor, is what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
But yeah.
I'm sorry, that should have been that funny to me. I can just feel like you like play like a shooting game. You're jamming up, you're jamming up,
Yeah.
man. You're like, maybe you should do voiceovers. That was pretty good.
Bro, people have told me that before. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like I have a deeper voice, but has a certain rasp to it that I don't care for, but other people like it. So,
That was
think about it. One thing I don't play any games about, and oh my god, I got triggered about it earlier this week. I'm not gonna drop the name of the person that did this, but especially when it comes to the black community, but just people in general, when you are in spaces like whether it be, a restaurant that's supposed to be like quote unquote a space of fine dining, taking on inferiority complex and like being so hyper aware of like how people perceive you, like I don't know. To me, like if I'm going to somewhere like Ruth's Chris or wherever have you, like yes, I'm gonna dress the part as far as adhering to their attire standards, but I'm not gonna walk into the space so tense that I feel like I have to wear a 3-piece suit. Like I belong here, I'm supposed to be here just as much as anybody else.
Yeah.
So like I think that type of mind frame when you're like in new spaces or even just like trying new stuff, whether it be like both of you know I drink wine a lot.
Yeah.
One thing I always challenge people to do is not look at wine or like going to an art museum or new experiences like it's above you, because everybody can enjoy stuff.
Exactly.
No, I guess I was just thinking in that mindset where I know me and Tay were kind of talking about this maybe a couple podcasts ago, but like I was talking in that sort of overcorrection effect where like people aren't in your head, and I look at it like this. I'm a black man in America, and there's some people who don't want me to get up each day, but I get up. And I do have to go into these spaces and be who I am. And there is a point where you have to like speak of and be about safety, but also going into what you were saying because I feel like people conflate bigotry with being uncomfortable. Like you're supposed to be uncomfortable sometimes in certain spaces to grow, rather than this person's like, oh, you can't do this because you are a woman, because you are this color, things like that. And we confuse those things. So like it's important for you to go to an art gallery because you've never done that and you're not too big for that. You got to be uncomfortable, and it's intimidating because you've never done it.
Facts.
Yeah, I guess my response to that would be, I think it's tense the first time you do, let's say, like a nice restaurant if you're not experienced to that. But the more you go, the more you realize like part of the service is that you feel good. Yeah. And people like the workers that are meant to make you like feel good and like feel like you're having a special occasion. Yeah. So I think the more you do it, the more comfortable you become in those situations.
I'm glad you said that too. I just want to throw out in terms of like experiencing like restaurants, I will say like I'm saying that from a place of privilege because I make enough money to where I'm able to go to like a Morton's and not break my budget for the week.
Exactly.
But I will say even like with more minute stuff, like I'll say like even open up a $8 bottle of wine from fucking Trader Joe's, like bro, like it's just wine. There's no different than you popping like a bottle of Henny or Kool-Aid, making like a jug of Kool-Aid. Like don't make it bigger than it is. And
then the waiter comes and he has a little crumb scraper.
And I'm not that too, but I'm not gonna lie too. One thing I've learned just like getting into wine more, there are so many people who work at like wine lounges that don't know dog blank about.
Oh no, they're just like college kids or whatever.
Yeah, no, seriously, like it's not like it's some sommelier that's just walking around.
Sommelier.
They can tell you like, oh yes, this was harvested from the Bordeaux vineyards of the Cashapp family.
No, that's
Well, what I'm gonna play new games about, and I'll be honest. I had a meeting with one of my clinical supervisors and things like that, and she pushed me in the sense of I really wasn't working on myself, so I had to. That first 30 minutes of like that supervision, she kind of asked me why I wasn't doing certain things in my life, and it really came down to I'm playing no games about ridding this rest of my fear that's inside of me, because I want to do so many things and I don't do them because even though I don't care if people think about, but also I'm moving more slowly because I'm thinking about what people will say rather than full force. And sometimes you need people in your life who know you, and this is why you can't sometimes live in the echo chamber with people, because you have to take in what people can see about you. And I appreciate her stepping up and being like, yo, you're gonna be doing dope shit, but you're standing in your own way. So I started last week, Saturday, just hitting the grind just very differently, being like, yep, she is right. I haven't been doing this because I am thinking about the potential backlash or like how people are going to perceive and not just doing. And I'll just say this. I took like a break from like TikTok and shit like that. And my very first video, non-planned, went up. Views were smacking. So I was like, all right, let me just fucking do what I need to do.
Yes, sir. If your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough.
Oh my god.
That's a bar. For real.
Wet dreams.
Wow, you
just ruined that moment. Okay, who's got a first topic?
I feel like you have to now, just because.
Yeah,
No,
you got.
wait,
Go first. Just
really?
Yeah, so we can forget about that.
I feel very awkward transitioning.
Oh my gosh. Well, first topic. So shout out to our NYC listeners. Y'all have our highest retention, and we appreciate you. So we're going to drop some news. So later this year, y'all are going to be dealing with the very first U.S. city to charge between $15 to $23 to any day traffic zone. And this comes from Early Bird Options, and this was something that was voted on in y'all city. So how do y'all feel? So from 5 a.m. to 7 p.m., Monday through Friday, and then from 7 p.m. to 5 p.m. on the weekends, you will be charged to go in and out of New York City.
So I'm assuming that's considering like primarily Manhattan.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that takes into like Queens or Bronx.
Yeah, I was gonna say like,
consideration.
how much does that impact like the other boroughs outside like Manhattan?
Yeah.
If it is the entire literal city of New York, that is madness.
No, it's more in the congestion zones. And,
So Manhattan
New York.
Island and all the boroughs then there.
Exactly, and I think when we kind of look at it, this was approved by the board in NYC to kind of really like adjust the congestion, and I think it's just once again, government not listening and figuring out other ways to take more money out of our pockets, because we already pay taxes, right? Because this is very much well happening here, because we have tolls that may be coming in Portland, where we're like, we've talked about this on here, but like, get this like this. I'm paying taxes to fix the roads, and now I have to pay.
You're paying taxes to get public transport.
Thank you. So why is that not free?
Or why is that run like shit?
Exactly. Why is there rats? Why am I on the same subway with the rats? So it's like, it's just working backwards.
Yeah, it's kind of a tricky situation.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would say one big issue I have with any type of legislation that gets passed like that, when it's not a direct constituency like vote, and it's a board making this type of decisions that impact everybody's everyday lives, that's a big issue for me. Especially for someone, and I'm not counting anybody's pockets, but if you're someone who say works in the city and I can't avoid not driving into here just because, I may have a kid that I need to pick up or, whatever have you. Now I'm having to pay an additional fee just to go to work. It's ridiculous to me, honestly. And I feel like we're getting to a point in America where capitalism is literally killing people. And, when my parents or grandparents talk to me about, what life was like 20, 30, 40 years ago, I understand pay wages have, went up some, but comparative to cost of living is just it's not making sense at this point.
So for just like passenger vehicles, and we're not gonna talk about the commercial trucks and things of that manner and motorcycles, right? If you do that $15 just annually is $5,475 a year. So that is so I'm going to
Just to
work
go to
to
work.
make money. So now I have to factor that in, which is bullshit.
I have one question, clarifying question as well. Is that only is this only applicable rather for New York City residents, or is it anybody who's driving?
Anybody who's driving.
See, and that's such crap to me, because if I'm, say, a truck driver and for whatever reason I have a drop and I'm based out in Virginia and I have a drop in New York City, I'm having literally to pay just to make money.
Yeah. I have a couple things to add. First off, I know New York isn't the first one to do this. London has a fee to enter the city zone. They promote that more as like a CO2 thing, to like, environmental, whatever, because of cars and all that. So to enter London by driving, you do pay, I think it's £7 or £8. I went to New York last year. The congestion is awful. I'm looking at the map right now. It is just Manhattan up pretty much until Central Park. But one thing I did notice, like taking Ubers, man, those tunnels, like the Lincoln Tunnel, the Queens Tunnel, the bridges, those are fucking expensive. That's like $17 to take the Lincoln Tunnel to go from New York to New Jersey. So you have to consider that too now. So you're paying $17 to take the tunnel, plus the $15 you're paying. So whatever you said, like maybe times two for like $10,000 yearly.
That's just for the congestion zone. Not talking about the tunnels.
Yeah. Well, the tunnels are in the congestion zone.
Yeah.
Like the Lincoln Tunnel's in Manhattan, Holland Tunnel's in Manhattan. Yeah, it's all the congestion zone for the most part. I just find it interesting, as I mentioned. They're doing this in order to alleviate congestion, but the question should be, what does public transport look like?
Thank you. And that's why I wanted to bring up this topic where where does our money go? Where, like, I've always said this with athletes where they always like, oh, you make money for the hood. What should you do? I always say that if I donate $1 million, I want to be able to come back to the Boys and Girls Club and be like, how did I spend this money? And I want to have that same, what'd you do with it? Because I want to give again. So now I know what my money's doing. So I would love to have a ledger of how my taxes are being used, because I'm more or less, if I'm a New Yorker, I mean, like, why isn't public transportation, like, why is it so, why? It's, I don't know, it's just discouraging, because I tell you kind of just brought up capitalism where, like, there was this, like, Instagram post where they were, like, poor, upper poor, okay, and then I think it had to be like 125K, 300K to be like middle class now. And it's kind of like, when do we catch a break?
It's just going to get worse.
Yeah, the middle class just keeps on getting squeezed. And now, like, me and my friends were talking about this the other day. Making 100K today is nowhere near the same as making in 2005.
Yeah. Even like 2015 even.
Seriously.
What I think is interesting too is if you look at populations, New York had one of the worst exodus for like states in the US. It was like California had a bunch of people that left, New York had a bunch of people that left. It's stuff like this where you're going to see more people from New York going to Florida, going to Texas, going to Nashville, going to more red states.
Instead of doing what they normally do and just going to Jersey.
Yeah. Well, dude, Jersey has some of the most expensive taxes too.
Oh, they do.
So it's just, I don't know. It is what it is.
Yeah.
California's next, and then Portland's down the line too.
Yeah. Hey, and then you got some people on podcasts. Sometimes you can't give people a podcast. If you make 50K, you can't be dating. I heard that on a podcast.
Oh yeah, I did.
We ain't gotta get into it. I was like,
well, while we're on the topic of money, something I wanted to talk about today. I follow Business Insider and the CNN Finance, periodically. Something that caught my attention this week, I don't know if you guys saw it, Wendy's is actually looking at exploring price gouging and surge prices for their menu. So basically what that'll mean is, so say, I hit up Rob, I'm like, hey bro, you trying to go grab some Wendy's? Not that I even eat fast food like that, but for whatever reason, we want to go get some Wendy's. It's 11 o'clock, kind of
4 for 4.
4 for 4.
Baconator.
Baconator. But it's like that weird hour where it's not technically lunch, but it feels kind of late for breakfast. Meal might be $20-$25 between the two of us. Cause then says, hey, I see that you guys' Instagram story. I want to pull up, do the same thing an hour and a half later, but this is now within the peak time of your lunch rush hour. That meal can now be double, just depending on frequency of how many people that they've had to come either in store or within the drive-through. So, me personally, it was just like capitalism working its nasty thumb once more. I'm just kind of worried about the ripple effect this may have on not only the fast food industry, but other businesses as well. And if this ends up becoming a normalized business model, what are you guys' thoughts about that? How do you feel about it?
It's a scary world, man. Now you have to buy your Wendy's and resell it later when the prices go up. So, you buy a Baconator for 10, you resell it for 13 when it's up to 15 outside the Wendy's, just holding it out.
Yeah.
That's the world we're moving towards. Like, just realize when I see stuff like surge pricing and then when I see subscription services for stuff that shouldn't be, those are two things that really scare me.
It's predatory. It's these 5 to 10 people in a room being like, "Oh, we really ran a lick with COVID. We really did all these other stuff." And it's kind of like, how much more do you need? Because I've changed my mindset where I don't. At first, I'm not gonna lie. 3 years ago, I was like, I want to be a millionaire and all this stuff. And then I just switched my mindset to be like, I just want to be comfortable. I want to be comfortable to make comfortable decisions, to go to Aspen's or go to Anguilla anytime I want to, or do this, things like that. It's just plain just greedy. We're like, you don't need that much money, and to have a family that depends maybe on Wendy's, during that time, maybe that things could be surging, right?
Yeah.
To prey upon them on that meal is kind of fucked up. And
even more so, I don't know why Kaz is just made me think about this. I just remember, as I'm sure it's happened to you throughout your life, you may see someone who's out in the streets and it's like, do you have any some money for food? Back in the day, even just 5 years ago, I could see somebody like that, give them $5 confidently. Okay, you can at least get a meal with this.
Yeah.
Now, maybe that's a burger.
Not a burger.
Maybe.
Like a single patty McDonald's burger, maybe. That's like $3 now.
Yeah.
That's a small fry.
But like back in the day, I could with $5 just could get a McDouble, a fry, a drink, and maybe whatever have
Taco Bell box.
Yeah, exactly.
$5 foot long.
A $5 box from Popeyes.
Oh, we got Fact Dragon.
Too short. You're gonna have to crouch.
Just lift it.
On your knee.
Wow.
You can get him after the show.
I don't know what you're lying about. So actually, McDonald's did this first with the surge pricing.
Okay.
They did about 2 years ago.
In the middle of the pandemic, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or just at the
And
end
they,
of it.
they did it by a crazy amount too, where in some places like Darien, Connecticut, a Big Mac cost $18.
Go to hell.
Yeah.
Damn.
I got that.
Yeah, and for like their little hash brown, the single hash brown, people were paying about $3 for it.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I went to McDonald's like probably a month or two ago just to grab some for my goddaughter because I was driving to go pull up with one of my best friends, Cashapp. I swear to you, I ordered just some pancakes and a hash brown. I want to say that shit came out to like $8. I was like, bro, how?
House like, I got this ice box. I'm gonna say this right now. We need one business to champion just the people. Let's just think one business, right? One struggling business. What's struggling fast food? Burger King? You say Burger King struggling?
Burger King, Burgerville. I'll tell you that one's struggling.
Burgerville is now, but
Yeah. I would say eat local, like mom and pop restaurants. That would be my thing.
Okay, before we go there, the reason why I'm saying we'll say Burgerville, right? We take Burgerville. If Burgerville had a fucking value meal, and it was going to be like that, you know how much
That's
fucking
true.
business they would have. If
But Burgerville's another place that's like overpriced. Actually,
I'm just saying, but like, just think of one. Just think if McDonald's went back to just having their value meal.
Now, I'm no econ major, but I think that we'd have to punch some numbers as far as like what's that threshold of us lowering our price point but we're surging as far as like the amount of product we're actually selling.
Where's the break even point? How
Yeah.
much can we play with that?
Yeah.
100%. This reminds me, like, I don't know, you guys ever look at the graph of like the Big Mac graph of showing like where like the most expensive Big Mac is in the world versus the cheapest?
Mm-hmm.
This is what that reminds me of, like surge pricing. Now a Big Mac in like Beaverton, Oregon is gonna cost what one in like Dubai costs, and like I don't know that.
Like, I ain't gonna lie, bro, and you could clip this. I feel like we at a point now where, real talk, you know, sometimes our parents, they probably was capping because they had other stuff that they either were saving for or, you know, wanted to spend money on. But when you was in the car and they asked you, do you have McDonald's money? Now that's a legitimate question. Y'all are doing a disservice to the American people, and I am tired of this. I should not be making life decisions as far as whether or not I want to get some gas this week or get a Happy Meal.
Our parents enjoyed like jet skis and snowmobiles, and now we get to enjoy McDoubles and
Yeah, like, bro,
McFlurries.
I don't know about that, but yeah, I get what you're saying, though, for real.
Well,
McDonald's thing.
The suspense was crazy.
I
So
know.
they did away with the whole dollar menu thing. Now it's $1,
Yep.
$1, $2, or $3.
Yeah.
But the CEO, when confronted about the whole price surge thing, they said, we'll continue to see, we don't see any real change with behavior from the high income groups, and we continue to grow share with those groups, but battle certainly, but the battleground is certainly with that low income consumer. And yeah, it's just kind of interesting.
So I'm gonna need you to lead the charge. All these Fortune 500 companies during the pandemic, they, you know, try to come off as though they care about DEI. This is where you actually put your money where your mouth is and start caring about the people.
And this is my last little bit on this, where like, even though I'm not able to see the schematics of like E.T., the hip hop preacher's like business, maybe I'm just a prisoner of the moment. But like, when you truly care about what you're trying to do, the money and all that stuff will come and follow, where you'll get the right sponsorship when it's time. Whereas where like one fast food company truly is like, all right, we gonna have every Tuesday McDoubles are $1, because they'll get that back. Like, you will get that back. And you know, it's just, what's more greed, where I ain't lying to y'all. I'm putting you on 360 deals to pay myself back.
Yeah, to Kaz's point, and just because you said that, if you want to shout out a local business, Sugar Hill has a great happy hour on Tuesday.
Sugar Hill
on
okay.
Tuesdays.
Sugar Hill's a good bar.
Their pre-pandemic pricing on Tuesdays: $2 burgers, $2 tequila shots. I think it's.
Oh, you been?
Oh yeah. Oh, quite a bit.
Okay.
Yeah. You eat, I ain't gonna lie, you could eat decent for like $10.
All right. All right, bet. All right, Queen, I see you.
Me? My turn?
We're gonna go to a quick moment from our sponsors.
Welcome to the podcast critics. My name's RJ.
My name's Andrew. This is a podcast where we review podcasts that you should steer clear of. And this week, we're reviewing Play No Games Established 2019. RJ,
Yes.
what you think?
I feel like so far in part of this episode, Rob's lacking some serious energy.
Yeah, I think Tay's bringing his A game and really carrying the show here.
Yep. Koss is that solid role player to Tay right now.
All right. Here's a serious question.
Yes.
If you could replace any host here with AJ,
With AJ,
yeah, who would you go for?
I'm going to plead the fifth on that question. Rightfully so. All right, don't forget to
Koss, you're out.
Wow. Don't forget to check out our new episode, Labyrinth, coming out this week. You can find us on the Backseat Critics. Anywhere that you listen to podcasts.
We are back. Wow, they always are reviewing something. Never know with those critics. So remember, if you like what they do in the commentary they add, make sure y'all follow the Backseat Critics. They're one of a kind.
Yes, sir. And speaking of one of a kind, a very powerful brand in the world right now, actually for a while now, Apple. Apple users, raise your hand. Apple users. Hey.
On occasion.
On occasion as well.
Clearly.
Any EV owners here? Electric vehicles?
I aspire, but
Aspire. Interesting.
I second that motion.
You aspire as well.
Hybrid. both.
Hybrid, okay.
You gotta have electric.
Well, I'm
and
sorry, boys.
engine.
It's not going to happen between the two. Apple announced that they are canceling their plans for their electric vehicle. It has been in the pipeline for the brand for 10 years now. They've had a designated team working on this project that they're reassigning to the AI division for Apple. So I'm in the car world. I look at stuff like this, and like for the last several years, they've kind of actually been ramping up their marketing for it. Information that's been coming out. So a little bit of a slight bombshell. Won't call it a wash bomb, but along those lines when it came out official as Apple is actually canceling their EV plans. I have some stuff I want to say about EVs, but first I want to get you guys' opinion on it.
Because y'all watch the show, y'all get minor updates about my life. So recently I was with my gal, and
Yes.
Lily, yeah.
yeah, and we literally, it's my very first time. I was in a cold part of the United States.
Can I say it?
No.
Northeast, New England.
No.
Okay.
I was just in a cold spot in the United States, and we got a Tesla, and
Y'all bought one?
I got, I spent a little bit, I wanted to.
They ain't tricking if you
Was
got
it an Uber?
Hey,
Just be honest. Come on.
It was one of the. It was the Tesla
Hey,
XY.
bro, it ain't tricking if you got it.
It's the Tesla Y,
The Tesla Y, yeah.
XY, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And like literally, you would leave that shit out in the cold, and like in the morning, you have to charge the shit up again. Like
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, all electric cars suck.
They do.
Yeah.
And I had to figure it out the hard way because I was at the fucking charge station half the fucking trip.
And I'm not gonna lie, like the charge stations as well, at least like in the metro area here, from what it seems like, aren't in the most convenient locations either.
No.
I used to work at a retirement facility where I was valet, and we used to do that every once in a while. Like, luckily, we did have stations on site, so anytime we park their cars, we just like plug it in. But for those residents who want to get out, we'd like give them a directory as far as places they could get to if they were just gonna be out for a while. So it can be kind of inconvenient. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, my buddy has a Tesla, and he really can only charge it at his gym. Can't even charge it at home.
That's crazy.
After 8 hours at home, he gets maybe 20%, 30% charge.
At home?
At home, yeah.
That's what Shawty was saying. That if we got a Tesla, it'd have to be at home, right?
And even then,
It
the
sucks.
amount of power you would have to produce from your home, you'd have to change your outlets and stuff. You'd have to reprogram your home to be able to fully charge a Tesla overnight.
And at that point, does this even make sense?
Yeah. Now in the world of EVs, they've not been selling. Their vehicle EVs sit on the lot about 20 to 30% longer than a normal gas car. So gas car has a much quicker turnaround when it comes to the dealership orders it from the OEM, and then they sell it. EVs are sitting longer because people aren't sold on them yet. People aren't ready for that lifestyle change.
I'm not all the way mad at that, only because, of course, I still care about the environment and the different carbon emissions that come from using gas cars. I want to say it was 2 or 3 years ago, I saw some legislation pass in California where, as of 2030, I believe, all new cars that hit the floor will have to be electric vehicles.
That was in California, right?
Yeah.
And the EU as well. EU, I think it's 2035 for all of the European
Yeah.
Union.
So I'm just I was kind of leery about forcing people to switch to that model. In terms of Apple's plans for that falling through, truthfully, I'm not too upset that Apple isn't becoming more of a monopoly. You have an iPhone there, right?
Yeah.
How old were you the first time you got an iPhone? Or what year? You don't have to give your age, just what year?
I'll give my age. Probably 12.
12? Okay.
Yeah.
And you remember what model that was? If you had a guess?
A 7, iPhone
A 7? Okay.
8,
Okay.
something like that.
What substantial changes have happened in between
Not a lot.
And that's why I have an Android. Fuck off.
I mean-
I can name the substantial changes that have happened.
On the hardware or the software?
Y'all copied us.
Both. Software more. Hardware wise, they go from a square design to a round design.
Software, what would you say the biggest changes have been?
Face ID, Apple Pay, FaceTime, iMessage,
And that's back.
the iOS ecosystem as well.
We didn't have iMessage.
Wearable technology.
We didn't have iMessage by 7.
No, but they've like updated it. Apple TV.
You know, most people in the world aren't on iMessage because it's a wonky system, right?
It's so good.
Okay.
It is. I'm not gonna lie. I say all this to say, like, I don't know if it's because of the era we grew up in, watching like sci-fi films. My expectations of where we would be in terms of technology were just we are so far behind.
I was expecting Megazords.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Like flying cars,
Exactly.
like I thought autonomous cars would just be the norm. Which I mean, some people do have that luxury, but like,
I was expecting Captain Planet to be stamped out with some Tims.
oh, bro, no. Did y'all ever see what movie was that? Spy Kids, when they just had a little chip and they could just put it in the microwave, and all of a sudden the meal came out.
Oh yeah.
And I know as an adult, like I would like that would just like make my life so much easier if I didn't actually have to think about like, oh, okay, like do I have everything I need for groceries? Like, no, we have a whole meal and this stick of gum.
Oh my gosh. You know, I'm more or less saying just I'm so glad you brought up the California thing because it kind of is like the theme of what we have been talking about today, where if this is what it's like when people have to get electric cars for luxury, I can only imagine. I feel bad the next 5 years for people in California when it's a necessity. Are we going to provide that car? Is that car going to last and charge long? Because now Apple's out of the game, and let's just say, are y'all trusting the Amazon cars that are being
Tesla sucks.
built?
Rivian sucks. They all suck. I don't even think electric's the future because
Really?
the amount of fossil fuels that go into making like lithium ion batteries that they use, like the amount of coal that burns to power the electricity that is used to charge the car is not that great. They've spoken about hydrogen cars. Hydrogen cars do exist in California, actually.
Oh,
Funny
wow.
enough, the only place where you can actually get like hydrogen fuel stations. But like Toyota has one you can buy right now. It's called the Miro. But no, I don't think electric's the future. It sucks that they're forcing it. I think that's going to get pushed back, if not kind of deleted. What I tell people is hold on to your gas car because the value of that is going to skyrocket when like only new cars are electric and you drive like used gas car. Guess what? People are only going to want to buy used gas cars because that's the only gas you'll be able to buy.
So if you have a Toyota, keep that thing around.
Oh, yeah. Toyota,
Conspiracy
Porsche, anything.
theory
Just not Nissan.
alert. Fact dragon, I'm gonna need your help. So there was a black man in Detroit. He built a hydrogen engine with water. And now they don't know where he at. That's all I'm saying. I know a black man who built a water car.
I know a black man who claims to start a battery with his hands.
Oh, yes. Have you seen someone actually do it?
Not at all.
It actually works.
Get the
Kevin Gates was not capping, bro.
Bro,
Someone,
get outta here. Get
I'm
outta
not
here.
shitting, bro. Someone put their hand on the battery, held hands with their buddy put his hand on the other battery.
If you
and
don't
it
go to hell,
started, dude.
bro,
I'm not
rolling.
Kevin Gates was not. No, because literally, because I used to think that was hilarious, and then I saw someone like, holy shit, Kevin Gates wasn't lying, and it's the video of them starting it with their hands.
Okay.
So he's telling the truth of them.
Like he said, may the Lord kill my children.
All right, so I'm starting a new segment on here. It's gonna be called "Stand on Business."
Watch out, you know, T.I. son.
Since Kaz is putting this out there, we're gonna need a visual representation.
I'll after the episode, I'll try to find the video.
Oh no! I need you to do it.
I'm not doing it. I ain't fucking putting my hand on a battery.
All right, first off, you want any M&Ms?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay.
I'm good.
I'm good.
All right. So in 1998, Stanley Mayer, who was the creator of the hydrogen engine, died due to a cerebral aneurysm.
Uh-oh.
So
Clinton put that in his head.
He was black.
yeah,
What I tell y'all?
aneurysms happen.
I do. Allegedly. In terms
Per the University of Michigan's.
in regards to the M&M, how are you gonna deliver said M&M if Kaz did want one? Hibachi style.
No, I'm good. I don't want any.
He's gonna do it. Stop it. Stop it. He's gonna do it.
He's gonna pretend to trip and just
Exactly. You clean all the M&Ms up. Let me tell you. Don't give him no fucking ideas.
Speaking of M&Ms or Maybach music, we got
Chasers.
We got some big news regarding Meek. Kaz, you want to get into that?
Yes, I can get into it. I have the article pulled up. So, let me just pull this up.
Spicy day on Twitter today for sure.
Jeez.
All right. So rapper Diddy was accused by producer Rodney Little J of sexual assault in 73 document case. In the evidence written by Jones's attorney, so Rodney Jones's attorney found that there is a specific section in which a former producer specifically claims Diddy had sexual relationships with a rapper from Philadelphia who dated Nicki Minaj. Womp womp. That certainly narrows down the list, but only online. We're quick with more cues, videos, photos, and testimonies that suggest Meek Mill is the rapper Jones is talking to about in the documents. So what are people saying? That Meek Mill and Diddy were doing it.
Just in case I don't make it home tonight, I don't make love to you for the last time, babe. Just in case.
You know, it's crazy about all that too. Since the news surfaced about that, Meek has been on a tirade the last, I'm gonna guess, 8-9 hours or so. I'm just going through his Twitter right now. Where he's trying to claim that this is some larger conspiracy, that people are trying to tear down him and Diddy's name because he's now an independent artist. Yeah. He went so far as to say, and you're probably going to have to bleep out a lot of this. Give me 1 second. At approximately 2:51 p.m., he tweeted out, "When I got a girl around me, I'm fucking her twice a day. LOL, ask some of your favorites. Pussy don't control me, but it's like a high. One love to the gay people, but that pussy juice do it for me.
Ugh.
I don't ran red lights to get that feeling. Y'all weird on here like devils." Now,
That man is
Red lights, huh?
now
guilty.
it's like so much wrong with this. One, it's like that one viral clip. You 36, like bro, you about to be 37. Like, I know he has 2 sons. I'm almost certain his oldest son has to be, if he's not a teenager already, he's around that age. Bro, your child is able to see all this in real time. Him, more than any, I think, celebrity or rapper within the last like 10 to 15 years, he craves attention and cannot just step away from the phone. Like, there have been so many times, I know you and I have spoken about it, where I'm just like, bro, where is your PR team? I would hate being his publicist.
Oh yeah.
Because he can't help himself. When a snowball happens, he will just push that MF downhill until it rolls and rolls and rolls and rolls. Now, of course, no, these are like very serious allegations, especially in regards to the Diddy stuff. With some of this stuff being linked to Meek's name, you know, whatever your social preference is, that's between you and whomever, you know, you're doing your business with. What happens in your bedroom has nothing to do with me. But it's just a way you handle this type of stuff when this stuff is surfacing around your name. And he just has been crashing out like the last like 5 hours. Oh, man.
Oh, me? Is all me?
Oh,
Yeah.
I can go too.
Well, that was such a dramatic moment. Like, you had a lot to get off.
I thought you had something to say.
I was just taking it in.
I think this is what happens when you have, I'll say, like a lot of yes men, or a lot of people that aren't willing to challenge you in your near circle, your social circle, to where they just let him go off. They're not like, hey man, you're making yourself look like a clown. You're a goof right now. Like, you know, you can tell he can't take a joke, or he can't take anything said about him that's not positive.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we're seeing this reaction from him. I mean, you can throw it back to the Drake situation a couple years ago.
I ain't gonna lie. This today was, it really took my brain back there. I was like, bro, this feels like summer 2015.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. And he got into it, and there's another wrinkle to this that was kind of interesting, because DJ Academics, whom I'm sure all of you know at this point, he's a pretty huge figure in pop culture.
Friend of the program.
I wouldn't say that, but nah. But Ak,
I always wanted to say that.
Ak and Meek have kind of had some tension over the last couple of years. Mostly it's just due to what, in my opinion, just seems to be his views on Meek's music, and then them having their back and forth. He had some comments in regards to the allegations. Meek came at him kind of crazy, and now has threatened him multiple times and saying, he's gonna pull up and shoot a video outside of his home. He needs somebody to give him his address. Ak walks this very fine line. I think in general sense he can be kind of corny because he'll do certain stuff to agitate people, but then we'll pull the "I'm a blogger" card. Yeah. My only issue with Meek in this sense, if he's been pushing, as I'm sure you guys have seen the last few years, that he's now trying to live a reformed life. He's pushing policy change and all this, that, and third, and trying to be a positive figure. If you're out the streets, be a civilian and stop this BS, and stop trying to more or less like bully somebody that isn't really with the shit.
There's this funny, I don't know where this comes from, but it's a podcast with like 4 of the black dudes, and when Meek came back and was like, "Oh, I'm on positive shit," and then it just took him like 2 weeks. It took him 2 weeks, and then he was back talking about guns and stuff. Yeah, and they equated it to like him being like the Green Goblin, in Spider-Man, where the Green Goblin.
Oh yeah, bro, for sure.
Do it, coward. Do it. He was like, talk about.
Where's some slang for some guns?
MMs, 9mm.
So it's just like, I think for me, when you kind of look at it like this, where we kind of like talk about like responses, where I think sometimes people, it's like, I get his line of work where like I kind of get why Shannon Sharp was upset when not D-Ray but Mike Epps was like, insinuating that he's gay or anything of that manner, where like I can get that takes down your street cred, but like when you've been in the game, if you had the many awards he has, sometimes you gotta show composure when you're able to not let the opposition know that you are ruffled, where like I know some people, and I'm saying observations where a guy could be like, "Oh, you're this or this allegation, or I think you're handsome," and they'll just lose it, being like, "All right, it's cool." Like a guy thinks you handsome, you gotta let it go. Where like him showing that is just more like ammunition, be like, "Oh, because you're having this big reaction, this must be true."
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's really like my biggest thing with this, and it's a classic Nip quote. I don't know how many years he said it ago, but it was in regards to Tekashi 6ix9ine, and we all know his history. And somebody asked him, I want to say it was on Big Boy's Neighborhood, what would you do if he saw 6ix9ine out? He was like, sometimes you just gotta leave people on goofy time, because you engaging with this person is gonna add more fuel to the fire, in the sense that it's no big deal if you see a wolf howl at the moon, but if the moon howls back, everybody's gonna stop what they're doing.
Hey,
interesting. Yeah, I'd say like if you think about any successful person, whenever they get accused of something illegally, what do they say? No comment. Speak to my attorney.
Yeah,
that type of stuff. There's a reason for that, and maybe Meek will learn next time.
He won't.
If there will be a next time.
But then he's been framing all this and like still kind of hinting the fact that he's dropping a project, I believe.
That was like a nice little cover up there. He's like putting dirt over it.
Or I think he's like more or less just trying to like respin the energy to like get more eyes and ears on his release that's happening. But all right, we all listen to rap music here. Did either of you listen to him and Ross's project? Bro, it's cold out here for him right now.
Did you?
No, I had no. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I heard 2 singles that dropped because there were videos that came out. But did I sit when the full project released? Did I sit down and like go through it the way I would have maybe 5-10 years ago? Hell no.
Listen to it, coward. Do it.
I have 2 things. Last thing I'll say about the whole Diddy thing. That's funny. The Diddy thing's getting funny. Like some of the memes coming out here are really, like there's one I saw of someone's like it's Diddy and Usher sweating.
Oh, bro, I seen it.
And they're like,
like
there's no work equipment. There's no work equipment. These guys are like
drenched in sweat.
Drenched in sweat. That's
Diddy, bro, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know about the producer because like from a source that I have a treasure source. It seems as though the producer may just be trying to get some money out of him. Most of the stuff that I've heard in regards to like these allegations that are popping up, I don't necessarily think it's outside the realm of possibilities that Diddy was involved with some of this stuff. And if he is, bury him underneath the jail. Same way they did R. Kelly and any other person who was involved with that type of work. But I will say this. The memes have been hilarious. That one, him and Meek wearing the matching outfit with the little person, or when he was
they pulled out like an old Meek tweet that's like, this D hit different or something like that.
Oh yeah, bro. He's like this D good as hell.
Yeah.
Or bro, no, it's crazy when Meek was on. I won't say it was $1 million worth of game, like maybe 3 years ago, and he was talking to Wallow and he was comparing losing his cellmate to losing the woman in his life.
Damn.
And Wallow was like, yeah, I don't know nothing about that. I lost like 40 cellmates. I was gone 20 years, dog.
Only thing I'm gonna say is making the band makes more sense. These exploits, because even though I know on the Chappelle show they was like wilding with the shit.
Yeah.
Some of the shit he did on Making the Band makes sense.
Right.
Like, you gotta be some type of man. It's I guess, and this is probably the wrong thing. One, the victims, sorry that they definitely went through that. But it's almost kinda like, do we gotta pack up all this catalog? Like anything he's been attached to, do we have to pack up that entire catalog?
Are you asking me or the viewers right now?
I'm asking the viewers. Like, is he banned? Like, okay,
Is he
wait.
canceled?
Wait.
I think you gotta wait until it's official.
Yeah, if it's official.
He's lost.
Not to, like, I don't listen to Diddy, but if this was to happen to someone else, I'd say, let's wait till the final verdict's out.
I'll say, all right. You say you don't listen to Diddy?
I don't.
All right. You listen to R&B music from the 90s?
No.
Okay. All right. Then, yeah.
I'm not an R&B guy.
Yeah, okay, then you definitely get a pass then with this because, like,
I know his influence. I know Diddy's influence.
He was executive producer on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And, I don't necessarily respect, I shouldn't, respect feels like a weird word, but like, I don't value being an executive producer the same way I would someone who's actually on the board making the music.
LeBron's an executive producer.
And it's been terrible about it. But yes. No.
How the Lakers now?
No, seriously.
He invented the deluxe album.
Yeah. Throw some more on it.
Exactly.
Bro, you gotta
Give
hear.
some more.
I got a curveball for y'all before we get off this. And you know how I feel about cancel culture. I somewhat think it's a joke because people pick and choose.
Mm-hmm.
If the actual Epstein list comes out.
Oh, yeah, that was supposed to come out.
And Beyonce's name is on there.
Oh.
Do you think the culture will actually cancel?
No, they will.
They're almost as bad as Swifties. The Queen Bees.
Oh no, they're way worse. That is a
worse? I don't know, man.
Bro, that is a terrorist organization.
Bro,
if you say anything about Beyonce other than her walking water and being a god,
I don't know, man. The Swifties pretty.
I don't know.
Have
you've
been directly packed up by a Swiftie?
No, but like I just see the power.
I've associated with the Swiftie, and it's
associated.
I'm getting secondhand.
That was very
situation.
That was very choice words.
Oh, you had to fuck Taylor Swift?
What?
Whoa!
No, just one of her fans.
Bone.
That's hilarious. Speaking of cancel culture, super random as well, curveball here. Did you listen to Vultures?
Oh yeah,
we haven't talked about it since it came out.
Yeah,
that was out.
I ain't gonna lie, like that album, like it low-key makes me uncomfortable, like with some of the subject matter.
It's giving like Shaq on the Celtics vibe.
Yeah, bro, cause like the music, like the production itself, it's not like bad. Ty Dolla Sign rather, I can talk today. He feels out of place to me a little bit.
So like, I don't hate Ty Dolla Sign. I don't need him on every song though.
Yeah,
I don't listen to a Ty Dolla Sign album. I don't know the last human that listened to it. Like from start to beginning Ty Dolla Sign album.
Okay, I'll say this. I'm a fan of you. I wouldn't say fan, but I appreciate his music. I like his music.
He's a good feature. He's a great feature.
Great feature artist. Some of the subject matter though, with Ye being 47 years old, I'm just like, bro, like
with carbon teeth.
Yeah, like it's almost like RJ the rapper from LA.
Yeah.
Are you like nah? Anyways, or like it's like be on this like hyper horny shit, bro. You are almost 50 years old, G. Like
yeah.
you should be in a different place in your life. And it's like,
and then getting his daughter on the song too.
Yeah, and then you juxtapose this with like, say like, not even that like I'm a huge Nas fan, but like listening to like a Nas album in 2024, or if Jay were to drop, it would just sound like these guys are in two different like stratospheres as far as like the pockets and age ranges in their life when they're right around the same age.
Yeah. No, yeah. It was a weird album.
Like it
was all over the place.
Like Carnival. How you feel about that?
I just feel like the songs, man, nothing stuck out. It felt like, which in that way, like I guess it like they all tied in really well one with another, but none of them stuck out for me.
It's giving Desperate Man.
Yeah, I think for me, I would almost rather have hated the album than just being different about it. And for me, that's like almost a worse place to be in.
I started at a 7 out of 10. I'm at a 6 now. Like I haven't even re-listened to it. I listened to it once and a couple songs here and there, but that was it. And I'm like, you know what? The longer I think about it, the least I like it.
Yeah, like no one album I hate, but I can get humor out of and just listen to it when I need something to laugh at. Wayne's I Am Not a Human Being Part 2. Oh, that intro, honestly, like that's up there with any Dave Chappelle skit I've ever heard in my life.
That's hilarious.
You want to talk about a money grab? Y'all want to talk about how Marvel's on this money grab? That I Am Not a Human stuff is like, well, slap it on. We gonna get some money today,
bro. I said I'm in the ocean getting shark pussy.
That's what my little Wayne listening to Creed.
Bro, it was like the first bar I think on the song. I was like, yeah, you're not serious. Like,
they said, Wayne, we need something. He's like, how long?
Watch this kick flip.
He's like, how long I got? You got 15 minutes. He did the album in 15 minutes or less. Oh shit. Well, I have a video for you guys, even though you guys haven't heard. I think I want our listeners to hear this piece because I want to know how y'all would have handled the situation. I would say in 2024, relationships, as you know, keep going. They keep getting more ridiculous by the day, and I'm here to really like bridge the gap and get in front of that shit so we can have regular dating back again. So I want y'all opinions on this. I'm about to turn this up real quick.
Sometimes stay together. We've been dating for about 6 months now, and Valentine's Day is also his mom's birthday. He's told me, listen, I always spend her birthday with her, which is Valentine's Day. My dad is gone. We can spend Valentine's Day on another day. We can celebrate and whatever. And I'm just like, no, this is our first Valentine. Oh. I want to celebrate with my boyfriend, and your mom is a grown adult. She can figure it out for one birthday. Wow.
Look, you're a grown adult too. You should be able to handle. You should be able to understand. Like you said, my dad's no longer around. It's her birthday. I'm always there for my mom. Every year I celebrate Valentine's Day with my mom. We go out to dinner. I don't understand why you don't get this. We can go to dinner on the 13th, or we can go to dinner on the 15th. Or we can go to dinner, the following weekend.
Valentine's Day is the day that all the girls get flowers. All the girls.
It's also, and I don't mean to misstep myself, it is kind of a Hallmark holiday. That's what it's turned into. And the meals, I'll tell you what, those meals on Valentine's Day are twice as much as they are on the 15th. So maybe you guys could go, save a little bit of money by not having to do it on the Valentine's Day.
But it's the principle of the thing. I feel bad for you, Ben. I feel bad your dad's passed, but eventually you're going to have to celebrate Valentine's Day with your girlfriend or even your future wife on that day. Maybe instead of doing Valentine's Day on a different day, you can do your mom's birthday on a different day.
But this is a tough one.
I can't believe you're throwing my mom under.
We don't have to listen to the rest of that. So, y'all know the situation. I'm curious. Valentine's Day, how y'all playing that?
It's kind of weird because I think in a general sense, not isolated from this within this specific situation. I'm one who, if I, for whatever reason, can't find reservations at a place that, me and the woman I'm dating at the time wants to go to on the actual 14th, I'm totally cool with going on 13th or 15th or, maybe the weekend before. Because Valentine's Day, it's the 14th every year. So it can literally fall on a Wednesday or a Tuesday. I do understand in regards to, building a new relationship, you want to build good momentum. And I'm also one who, if my birthday is July 27th, if my birthday's on a Tuesday, I'm not going to celebrate my birthday that specific day. It'll be the weekend prior or the weekend after following. So I think there can be some compromise here. It's one of those weird situations where I don't feel like either side is necessarily wrong. And I do. I will say this: it's kind of difficult for me to really speak on this per se, just because I'm blessed enough to say both my parents are still alive and also married. So I've never had to like fill that void within my mom's life. I know having friends that are women, that is one of their biggest flags though, when they see like too much of a codependency between mother and son as you get to a certain age. So
you think it's codependency though? That's interesting.
There is. I'm not gonna lie.
I think girls think it is codependency.
Even with male friends I have, I can kind of peep that. Maybe not necessarily from the guy's perspective, but from the mother, there is like an emotional void that is left when they may not have a man in their life, or their partner may have passed, and now you are now my not in a weird way, but you are now my person. You're the person that I call when my faucet's leaking, or hey, I need a ride. And I've had friends who they've been in situations and they're with their actual families, and their mom needs them to go give them a ride to like the grocery store, something simple that like as an adult you should probably be able to figure out if you are of a sound mind and still moving fairly well.
You sent that clip before we started, and I find it interesting. People may not like what I'm about to say. I think that is a great example into the male psyche versus the female psyche. I think she is using a lot of emotional, her reason is based in emotion versus his reason is based more in logic or in a different type of reason. He's saying emotion. We could do this.
I'll say it's still emotional because
in emotion.
There is emotion because it's his mother. I totally understand. But he's pushing out ideas like we could do the 13th, we could do the 15th. There's a lot of options here versus she's like, no, it has to be on this day because the government told me it has to be on this day because other girls get flowers on that day, because other girls get dinners on that day.
And that's the only thing I didn't like about it, because you
don't care about him.
Yeah.
You care about what others.
Yeah, you're not caring about the experience of like sharing this moment with your partner. Exactly. It's about, I'm gonna be left out because every other woman is experiencing this high on this specific day.
So the reason why, because once again, y'all gotta have more confidence in yourselves. Like y'all are very sound of mind people when it comes to this stuff. Where like, one, I think this is a simple fix. Why can't you just do a joint? Or you have.
I don't think she would want that.
That's weird.
I don't think she'd want that.
Let me finish.
Either side would want that.
But still, you could do something.
See, I could see the mom compromising.
Exactly.
But I don't think she would.
Or you take your mom's to brunch, you take your girl to dinner. Like you can do that on the same day. But the thing is, I'm saying, one, when you're talking to those people aren't looking for a solution. They're looking for it to be their way, for them to be right. Where I like how Tay, you were saying, because that is right, where inherently nobody's really wrong with that. But at the same time, what Koss is bringing up was also a good point of like, hey, like, can we have a different form of logic? And then one point I feel like is really missed is like, this is a first year relationship where like, this is my mom. It's like, I'm not trying
I barely know you.
That too, but it's like, can you meet me in the middle where like there is none of that? And I think in these type of things where you try to keep up with the Joneses and you're trying to fight to be right, where like there could have been one, and I was like putting on dates pretty well, where like I feel like you could have did it both on the same day, just changing it up. But like at the same time, it's like I think just people are just very when they get into the dating market, they're looking to be taken care of from like both aspects and not looking at this as a joint venture of like, how do we figure this out? Like, it's like people are very like, it's going to be this way rather than we're creating this way together, where it is a Hallmark holiday.
I want to jump in on this though, because I know both of you were saying that you could see like the mom compromising. I don't think it's fair for us to assume that she would, because if we're going to say that the girlfriend was speaking from a place of emotion because she's a woman, his mother is also a woman.
But a mature woman.
We don't know this. We haven't heard her say a thing.
We don't.
She could be, Brian, this is my birthday. Like,
no, that could be the case.
Do you think Blueface's mom is?
Maybe I'm being too harsh on her. I'm team mom on this one though, just because I think a birthday outweighs a fake holiday. As someone whose birthday is before Valentine's Day, I can tell you birthday's way better than Valentine's Day.
I'm sure.
So I brought it up because it's a real situation. Like, my thing is, if you got to call up to a radio station, you know, you got to let her go. You got to let him go. Like, you got two, you might as well.
I also question the validity of the situation.
Very true. I've always
This could
wondered
totally
that.
be like a fake scenario.
I've always wondered
like,
that with radio stations. So they fake that shit.
Yeah, no, for sure. And also, one element is kind of tricky too, because I feel like in my younger years, not that I'm even
you're sold.
Yeah. No, but seriously though, I feel like this point in my life, like I'm really dating with purpose. Like the next person I get in a relationship with, I'm not doing this like just on some casual shit. I'm hoping that you are my person.
So what you're telling people is you're single right now?
Yes, I am. Completely.
Hey, tap in.
I'll keep it a buck with y'all. Where like this year for Valentine's Day, it was first Valentine's Day that I actually celebrated. I think in the last like 3-4 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and I actually didn't do it on Valentine's Day, and I did it on the day before. And my thing, or the day after, my bad. And the thing that I did, what I thought was like pretty dope, is on Valentine's Day, she got a gift from me where like I wasn't able to be there, but my presence, and she was like, I appreciate that. I felt the presence. And then like when we had like dinner and did all the things, it was very
After you jumped on the PJ.
Huh?
After you jumped on the PJ.
What? Yeah, I have to play. So I'm just saying, we're like
Playing.
we've talked about how Valentine's Day is, where it's together, where for at least dinner, I took care of dinner, but most of the things we did out of the Valentine's Day spirit, it was like together. We're like, the limit was $50. We both got gifts, and it was just a dope experience of like, this is what it means and how we're celebrating our love.
Oh, y'all ate for $50?
No.
Oh, the gifts.
The gifts.
Oh, okay.
The maximum
I will
was
say,
50.
boy, teach me yo.
Oh, this place we went to was actually really dope. It's called like the Blue. It was like
where at?
I'm not familiar. Is that in Northwest?
Is that Northeast?
It's in a city.
It's in a city in America.
It's in a city in America. And
I think they opened it downtown on 23rd.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll just say this: where I'll be frank, it was the best pork chop I've ever had.
Damn.
Still-
How long of a drive from where I'm at?
You still eating swine in 2024?
Yep.
Wallahi.
Haram, brother.
Anywho, so all
This
I'm
man said wallahi.
Anywho, all I'm saying is rational dating has to come back, man. Like it's just crazy where a reasonable request of this or that, whether it's emotional from the woman, where it's logical, emotional from the man, where can we meet each other in the middle? Because at the end of the day, Valentine's Day is supposed to be a time, or even a birthday or whatever, where you're being celebrated. It's not going to be the fairy tale thing. But
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
All
Right.
I got something for you then. Is your mother married?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's say hypothetical scenario. She's not. It's your mom's wedding.
It's my mom's.
It's your wedding date.
Okay.
Wedding day. Yeah.
Yep.
You're about to get a stepdad.
Yeah.
She's married.
Your girlfriend. I'm saying if she.
He said hypothetical.
Hypothetically,
Okay.
it's your mom's wedding day. Your girlfriend goes into labor. Which one are you prioritizing?
Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna go to my child's birth.
Oh, okay.
I think that's fair.
Yeah,
Actually,
that's
I think
fair,
that's
okay.
fair.
I was trying to find an equivalent scenario where he had to.
Mama T would be like, "Go get my grandchild."
Yeah,
Okay.
Like
If a baby, I feel like the baby would like give him out.
that was not how you keep it. I'll just say this: I have the luxury of having a very dope matriarchal type of a woman, where my mom's always told me, whenever I find my person, she wants to be her friend, where she wants to work with that person, and she understands that when a woman owns her house, that's how she operates, and she wants to work with her, where she wants to teach her the ways. So I have a type of mom who kind of thinks about like, well, I want my daughter-in-law to like me and grow for me. So she would even tell me to go do that. So that's the type of mom that I have, where she gets it, where she's like, I used to be that person's age, so like I want to be a part of that growth process with her.
Or worse. So if y'all living together, she's not finna come in the kitchen like, oh, actually, Robert likes his food. Like,
Yeah, she'd be like, that'd be very disrespectful.
Yeah.
So she's the mama that would go sit in the back seat. She would like, I'm not even gonna put you in that situation.
That's always like a weird like situation too.
And that's the type of like woman I grew up with, where she just understands.
Dope. We need more women like that in the world.
Mama T. Well, gentlemen,
ladies,
gentle hands. Gentle hands. I like that. If you like what we're doing, we're growing. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell.
Give us a shout out on Instagram as well.
Leave a comment.
Yeah.
Troll Rob.
Troll him.
Follow the Instagram.
I feel like enough people troll me on the comments.
No, they don't.
I have
yet to see one troll.
Exactly. It's like
I read them to make sure I don't get any hate comments.
Well, someone didn't like your latest one of the clips I did. They were like, "Oh, I forget what it was." Someone was like
on YouTube or Instagram?
YouTube.
Oh, I gotta check. I don't know.
And someone made a clip, and I was like, "Hey, don't be a dick." But yeah,
I gotta check.
One of your topics. But anywho, if you like what we're doing, hate us or love us, we here because the underdog is on top. I'm Raps MVP.
Rant if someone leaves hate comments.
I'm Raps MVP.
Hold on, what you mean by that?
On Twitter.
All right, we're out.
Probably wondering if I think of you. Sorry, I'm for the bag right now. Yeah, I'm for the bag right now. Yeah, for the bag that I never had. Yeah, you probably mad right now. Yeah, I got a 2-piece now. Shit, I think they call them groupies now.